U.S. fast food giant Burger King is in merger talks with Canadian coffee and donut chain Tim Hortons. If the deal goes through, it will create the world's third largest fast food chain. But besides business strategies, Burger King also has some tax incentives to pursue this deal. And Christian Yeo has been following this. He's joining us live now from Montreal. Christian, the potential merger would certainly create a favorable tax deal for Burger King. There are also a lot of synergies between the two food giants. What are the details of this deal?
It really is a whopper of a deal, Michelle, excuse the pun, and there are huge savings to be made here, as you pointed out there. Most people outside of Canada haven't heard of Tim Hortons, but it is king of the streets here. Twice as many branches as McDonald's here in Canada, and McDonald's is pretty popular on its own, but twice as many Tims here. Combine these two companies, and they've confirmed they're in talks, will create a super brand, a super holding company with these two brands, 18,000 locations around the world, and annual sales of $22 billion, making it the world's third largest fast food chain. Now, for Tim Hortons, they've struggled to expand outside of Canada, namely the US. It's restricted to pockets in the northeast of the states. Burger King, of course, does quite well in the States and elsewhere around the world. But for Burger King, it means that they can have better access to the Canadian market. But what a lot of people are saying is what this deal is all about, Michelle, is tax inversion. That means relocating Burger King's operating profit to Canada, where there is a markedly lower tax rate here. If you're comparing Ontario, where Tim Hortons is based, to Miami, where Burger King is currently based, there's a 10% differential between the corporate rates of tax. The White House, however, Michelle, has other ideas. This is a long line of companies lining up now to leave official American status and move to either Ireland or England and now Canada. And we're hearing more and more from the White House warning that perhaps they're going to make life a little bit more difficult for those companies considering such a move.
I'm not in a position to comment on those specific transactions. I will reiterate, though, what the Treasury Department has said, which is that they are considering a range of administrative options that are available to the administration to make those kinds of financial transactions less appealing to countries to companies that may be considering them.
Christian, the merger, as you mentioned, would provide tax savings for Burger King. Of course, there's a strategic rationale for the combo deal. Now, investors must like this news. How did shares of both companies react today?
Well, they love the news on both sides, particularly Tim Hortons. Tim's closed up almost 21% today at $83.20 at the Toronto Stock Exchange. And in New York, Burger King climbed up almost by the same amount, 20.8% at $32.75. The companies aren't saying much at this stage. There's no final figure mentioned, but there's still an awful lot of excitement, even with those warnings from the White House. Users of Burger King, those American burger fans, however, have been voicing their concerns on the company's Facebook page all day, mostly negative opinions. If Burger King's going to move its profits abroad, I may take my business elsewhere, Michelle. So it's a divisive issue so far.
All right, it may affect Burger King sales here in the U.S., but so far both shares up 20% almost. That's pretty solid gains. Christian, great to see you. Thanks as always. Christian Yeo live from Montreal.